This was a terrible idea. Yo guys, Jonathan here, and this is the 2019 iPod Touch, which is not a sentence I thought I would ever be saying, but we're here, it's updated, and if all went to plan, what you just watched prior to this and what you're watching now was edited on the iPod Touch, which I realize could end up in a giant freaking disaster, and this video may never make the internet, but if you're watching this, it worked. Now, the biggest reason why I wanted to edit this video on the iPod Touch is because I think while there are changes I would have loved to have seen on this, I think people are freaking out. Like The Verge, for example, used a little bit of a clickbaity article saying, ooh, Apple updated the iPod Touch with the iPhone 7 processor, which leads our minds to think, what the hell, Apple, why are you throwing old processors in there? People are freaking out on Twitter, grabbing the pitchfork, screaming Apple's just using this as a cash grab, which actually couldn't be further from the truth, because if you look on their website, this is actually really hard to find. Like, you have to go into search just to find it, and then further, you sit back, you take a breath, and realize that this is $199, and it's faster than the Pixel 3a. So I got this in the box sealed up because for me, this was a little bit nostalgic. You don't see Apple packaging like this. This is classic iPod retail packaging with that little arrow tab. And this takes me back all the way to, I can't even remember what year that was when I released this, but same classic TLD blue. Coming back, I realize they actually make it pretty easy if you just lift that fake iPod screen, just like old times. And then that should, ooh, this is not easy to take out, but there we go. There is that 2019 iPod Touch. It feels so freaking small. You will get, ooh, that classic USB-A to lightning charger and lightning, are these actually, that'll be interesting to see, are these lightning earpods or are they they're 3.5. So we got that little bit of a throwback. So that's actually a +1 with the iPod Touch. You can listen to music and charge it at the same time without a stupid dongle or adapter. Now, this video might be a little bit of a mind trip because we're going back to the future, we're coming forward, and it's all over the place. But the first challenge is to get this footage, which is being shot on the Canon 1DX Mark II, onto the iPod Touch. So everything that you watched already, I'm trying to get into the iPod Touch right now from stuff that we shot prior to this. It's a little bit of a weird setup because this CFast reader needs power, so we got Dongle City power, but it should work and we should be able to import all that footage into the iPod Touch. Now, the challenge here is going to be the amount of storage within this iPod Touch. That's probably the one complaint I have with this. For the baseline, it should have been at least 64 gigs, but it looks like we are good to go. So I'm too far into this terrible idea to back out. I will say, looking at the screen, things are mighty small. It's not an iPad Pro by any means, but I'm gonna start out with the music track, get that in and kind of fine tune that so I can work on that intro montage. We're gonna drop that into the timeline. Let's go ahead and play that, see where we're at, because I don't want it to be too long. Pinch to zoom works really well. 2, 3, 4. Now, based off that track, I think I wanna roll with this particular shot here towards the latter bit. I think that's probably where I feel good with that. And we'll start there, we'll trim that a little bit. Go ahead and toss that in the timeline. This is a ridiculous, ridiculous idea. Play, I mean, but it plays back really smooth. All right, that's cool. I probably wanna see if I could reverse this clip though, so, all right, that looks good. I'm gonna get that music back there. All right, clip 1 done. We're almost there. Not really, we got a ways to go. My goodness. Second clip, going through this footage, I think. Maybe we'll go with this outdoor shot. That feels good. Go to not delete that. I'm gonna blade it right there. Delete that section. So let's go ahead and select that in, out, trim it up a little bit. Dip it in. We got a sequence going though right now. 2, 3, 4. is so small. Just in case, right? For that one too. Didn't think I'd be spending my day editing a video on an iPod Touch. The real challenge should have been to do this on the previous iPod Touch. That would have been ugly. I don't even know if that would have run, but here we go. I mean, this is working though, in a pinch. That's pretty amazing though, right? This is $200 and I'm editing a video on this. Linus, I'm gonna take you on with my iPod Touch. Bring your PC. It's updated, and if all went to plan, what you just watched prior to this and what you're watching now would Yo guys, Jonathan here, and this is the 2019 iPod Touch, which is not a sentence I thought I would ever be saying, but we're here, it's updated. All right, we got that intro sequence done. We got the music leveled. I'm gonna color grade. Yes, I'm gonna color grade Canon 1DX footage on this iPod Touch right now. So what I'm gonna do first is maybe take a little contrast away. Throw some saturation up. Looking good. Pull out a little bit of green. Maybe I'll throw some of those shadows up a little bit. So that looks like we have color going. Does it play back? Beautiful frame, but it's playing back. Prior to this, and what you're watching now was edited on the iPod Touch, which I realized could end up in a giant freaking disaster, and this video may never make the internet. Wow. All right, so we got color on, off. That's dumb too, but it's working. Copy those, paste that. Freaking disaster, and this video may never make the internet, but if you're watching this, it worked. Did it though? That's some mighty gambling right there. Cause I'm not sure yet. This was a little bit. Oh yeah, I unboxed it. You're that wood. Build up, because for me, stop saying dummy. Dap, you always come over during one of these edits for some reason.
It's all good.
So this shot's gonna be a little bit tricky because we shot a behind the scenes shot. So I'm going to get this in here, but then also cut to the behind the scenes shot, which was on the A7 III. So it's gonna take a little bit of working in. I'm gonna blade there. I'm gonna use that as my sync point. And I'm gonna look for that A7 shot. I feel like I'm like an old person, just like, I need XL mode. Now, this video, just because of the size limitations on the iPod Touch, was shot in 1080, and I'm upscaling it in LumaTouch. This clip right here, though, is in full 4K, so it's also gonna be an interesting test to see how 4K video plays back. And as expected, 4K video off the A7 III also plays back like butter. Multicam footage on the iPod Touch. So this video is gonna get a little bit tricky because we're going back to the future and forward, and it works. That's
I'm not even
freaking
sure how it's gonna work, but this is being
so
shot
cool.
on a Canon 1DX Mark II.
Oh my God, this all works. So blade. Now I'm gonna have to get the footage that I'm editing now onto here. It's just like this never-ending cycle. It's like when you put a mirror into a mirror. That's what this video is. It's just me editing videos of me editing videos on the iPod Touch multiple times. Now this video might be a little bit of a mind trip because we're going back to the future, we're coming forward, and it's all over the place. But the first challenge is to get this footage, which is being shot on the Canon 1DX Mark II, onto the iPod Touch. We did it. We did it. So crazy enough, this whole project worked. I think I did run into some limitations because I'm not sure if it's because the iPod Touch only records 1080p, but I was only able to output a 1080p video through LumaTouch. That aside though, it was still crazy impressive. color grading, audio, mixing, multiple shots, multiple angles, all was done with the iPod Touch. That aside, ultimately, again, it comes down to the fact that this is a $200 device. And I know we live in this crazy world where somehow kids get smartphones by the age of 5, which doesn't make sense. In reality, kids don't take great care of things. They lose things, they break things. Do you really want Billy losing that $600, $700, $800 phone that you just got him? No. This way, you don't have to spend a ton of cash. And alternatively, maybe you use Android. Maybe you want to dive into iOS. Maybe you want to step up your Blue Bubble game. What's a Tinder date worth? For real though, it's an iPod Touch. It's faster. It's not going to change the world or blow your mind. The cameras by no means are any good. That's probably the weakest point with the iPod Touch. Front-facing camera. It's not like horrible. There's no dynamic range up here. It's just getting completely obliterated.
It's exposing for you pretty well though.
No.
But it seems clear up here.
That's the
Close up. Back shot. Stabilization does not look very good, but let me know what you guys think. I mean, this is a $199 device. Video, photos is not going to be the thing you're going to do with this. What was our boy's name? Big Junior. That actually wasn't terrible, but it's not good by any means. And I think ultimately it serves the purpose for what this is. If you want to get on Instagram, if you want to use it for Snapchat, those kids are going to post like 50 million out of focus selfies anyway. So this is the perfect device. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did and you are feeling like being awesome, make sure you guys go Big JR, playing the uke on that like button. This is Jonathan, and I'll catch you guys later.